our professional speaker series for the year. Raise your hand if you remember this from last year. Great. Okay, so just a little recap. Our district, Wickliffe, we are doing something with you guys called the 10-year plan. How many of you have heard of the 10-year plan? Great. So 8th graders, you know that on your schedule, you get to come see me for your career exploration class for 9 weeks, right? During that focus time, that study hall time. Excuse me. 7th graders, one of the things that you're going to get to do this year is I'm going to come to, I believe, your social studies classes for a few days, and we're going to do some work on different college and career readiness stuff. Other things that we do, that we're going to be doing this year are site visits, where we go out and take field trips to places to explore different careers and different options that can be available to you afterwards. And the whole goal is, as a community, as a Wickliffe school community, we're helping to prepare you to be college and career ready. So today is just one more layer of that. And today we have invited in Mr. Sliker, and are you coming up with it? No. Okay. And his lovely assistant, Ms. Caitlin. I don't know your last name. She was one of my students when I was a teacher. How cool is that? My first experience with one of my students. So you can get with her after and you can ask her how I was as a teacher. Okay. So Mr. Sliker, he is the president and founder of a company called IBB Inc. And I was talking with him before, and it's pretty cool, but I'm going to save it and let him kind of explain it to you. He is also involved in all kinds of different community organizations. He's on all kinds of different committees, and I think he's going to talk to you about that a little bit as well. But all over Lake County, and really the whole area. He also is a track and field coach at South, and a cross-country coach at East Lake North. So super cool. So I'm going to turn the mic over to him. Are you going to use the mic? Okay. So here we go, Mr. Slater.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you. All right, raise your hand if you would like to be successful. You want to be successful? You want to grow up? Who wants to make money when they grow up? Who wants to run their own business? Who wants an awesome career that they love? Like, I can't wait to go to work. All right. So I'm gonna pass out a few things. We have little prizes. Try to make it fun. So thank you for being with me today. Stay with me. Today we're gonna talk about you. And one thing that I'm always preaching to everybody is, whether you are in middle school, high school, we got rain, bring the rain, all right? You are the only you that you will ever need. So I'm gonna say it again. You. What's your name? Mackenzie? All right, Mackenzie, you are the only you will ever need. So does Mackenzie need anybody else to be successful and be happy? No. We're going to dive a little deeper into you want other people, but when it comes down to it, you don't need anybody else to tell you that you're good enough, because you know you are. Understood? And that goes for all of you. All right? Give her a hand. All right. Let's do this. So, goal for today, I want you to take away one thing and put it into action. If you do not put one thing into action, does it make any difference what we learned today? If you don't put things that you know into action, you might as well have stayed home. You might as well have said, hey, I'm just going to suck at life and I'm just going to leave it at that. Does that make sense? Action is the best medicine. The only way to get out of this, so people, like anybody follow baseball. How do you get out of if you're in a hitting slump, how do you get out of a slump? My man right there in the green. Thank you. You keep swinging, right? The only way to get a hit and get out of your slump is keep swinging. Does that make sense? So it's way easier when you have a baseball bat. You can like, oh, look at me, I'm still swinging. So it's upstairs. All right, so again, you in your head have to keep swinging what your goals are. Cool, man, you get a sticker. Oh, man. Participation points, bonus. I think college credit, I'm pretty sure, for stickers, pretty sure. So, IBB story, real quick, met a guy randomly on a plane. He says, you need a brand. By the way, I do branding for the James, I do branding for Nike. I'm coming back from the All-Star Weekend. I was flying back from Houston. I'm like, what is a brand? What is this brand you speak of? Anybody ever heard of branding before? Okay? You are your brand. Okay? LeBron James is his own brand. Does LeBron need Nike? No. I mean, he wants to switch shoes ever, but anyway, I told him I will buy you the most expensive dinner. I will buy you whatever. I can't afford you, clearly. I'm not LeBron James, but teach me. So again, another thing we'll talk about, don't learn to learn. So you're in class, you're here today, learn to teach. Action is the best medicine. I want you to go out, and what you learn, you're going to go teach someone else. Hey man, we're going to start our own brand, and it's going to be a representation of us, what we stand for. Does that make sense? There's one thing I talked about. I did the keynote speech for United Way of the County this year. That was pretty cool. But I talked about infinite happiness and the success box. So, how many of you are like, hey, I got an A, I'm successful, check, right? Hey, I passed my test, I'm successful, check. I got a job, I'm successful, check, right? I'm gonna go to college just cause. That's what I'm supposed to do, check. I'm gonna get a job, that's what I'm supposed to do, check. Am I making sense? You're not literally saying that out loud, but that's what your program to be like, oh, I gotta check that box, and then I'll be successful. And then I'm gonna check this box. And if I check all the boxes, I'll be successful. And I will be happy, right? Do you want to be successful and miserable? Why not, right? Okay. You do not want to be miserable. So, story tells about the seatbelt. I was 5, this was right before I met the gentleman on the plane that gave me the idea for the brand. Stay with me, stay focused. I was successful. I went to college. I got a career. I got promoted. I had people working for me. I was the boss. Who wants to be the boss? All right, you think the boss has a lot of fun? No. You got other people's problems, plus yours. So, anyway, I'm pulling out of my development, going to work, just another day, and my mom and dad love them to death, best parents on the planet, said, you should always wear your seatbelt. So raise your hand if you should always wear your seatbelt. Always wear your seatbelt, okay? So again, one thing you can learn, don't be an idiot like Mr. Schleicher. Because I was so miserable with all the success I had achieved that I pulled out of my development, and I reached for my seatbelt. The thought that crossed my mind was, would it be so bad to die today? So I'm successful, and that's the thought that comes to my mind. So no matter what you're going through, you have to re-engage yourself. What makes you happy, what makes you passionate about what you do every single day, because you can be successful and be miserable. So infinite happiness is doing what you want to do because you love to do it. So when you're going after a career, when you're going into college, don't do what other people tell you to do. Do what you know you were born to do. You know in your gut right now what you're good at, what you love to do. Now, you have to tie it back to, okay, how the heck am I going to pay my bills doing that, right? So, stay with me here. All right, let's stand up real quick. Oh man, oh yeah. So, all right, stay with me. All right, there are two people that live inside you always. There's you and you, the leader, all right? So when I say flip the switch, I want you to be you, the leader. So for example, what's your name, my man? Crossbones? Jordan? Alright, sir. I'm in a band. My hearing sucks. Alright. So Jordan, am I talking to Jordan or am I talking to Jordan, the leader, who's focused and ready to take on the day? Jordan, the leader, right, boss? Alright. So, flip the switch and be the leader. There you go, buddy. Give me a sticker. Alright. Enough messing around. Time to get down to business. So be here now. So one thing that helps me remind myself, I will literally snap my fingers in my own face, be like, focus. Focus, Schleicher. You do that? Focus. Alright? Stay with me. Be here now. Alright. So who am I? Thank you very much for introducing. I have a whole bunch of nonsense. Number one thing for me, I am a husband and I'm a father. Alright? And that is what I am, and that's what I take most pride in. In my industry, I'm top 6% in the world. So that I didn't start there. It took a decade to do that. We do a lot of stuff in the community. Pretty much covered that. So we have what's called your FPP. So remember this, there are 3 things you should always be planning and focusing on. It's your FPP, so your financial goal, your professional goal, and your personal goal. So again, I was focused on finance and profession, and I was successful, but I wasn't doing the things in my personal life to make me a better person, so I was miserable, right? I had the financial success, I had the professional success, but I didn't have the personal success, and that's why I was miserable. So again, you need to always be working on you and making yourself better. Does that make sense? Yeah? All right. So, circle back to LeBron James. Why is LeBron James so successful? Well, yes, he made a lot of money, right? He's very good at his profession, right? His number one skill is developing himself as a person and keeping it with. Think of all the athletes, all the celebrities that find trouble everywhere they go. Can you think of one? Give me one. Yeah. Give me a celebrity. Kim Kardashian. All right, cool. All right. You get a sticker. All right. Kim Kardashian is not known for personal best choices. So, all right. So, I'm sure she's a great person, but again, that circles back. Who here is on some form of social media? All right. I don't even know what's cool anymore, but number one lesson on social media: how you seem is who you are. Repeat after me. How I seem is who I am. All right? It does not matter if you are making the world's best personal choices, if you're putting the 2 or 3 bad choices on the internet forever. Does that make sense? All the time people will approach me and I'd be like, hey, we want to work with you. We want you to come speak. We want you to come be our life coach, be our business coach. You seem successful. You seem like a nice guy. You seem, right? Branding. Social media. Social media is your first start in your brand. And building those relationships, building that reputation that employers, schools, teachers, everybody is going to look to. You can tell me, hey, I'm a great person. But then I go to your Snapchat, Instagram, whatever it is, and you're doing dumb stuff. Are you a good person anymore to me? No. And even though you posted the 3 things you've done bad in your entire life, but they're on the internet, not where they should be, that's all I'm going to remember. Does that make sense? We're blazing here. All right, let's see. 3 rules, skills and beliefs. Love others always. So again, you don't need anybody, but you want as many people supporting you in your dreams as possible. Does that make sense? Who's ever heard of social capital? All All right, social capital is the people you know, the relationships you have. When I started in business, when I started finance, I had $18 to my name. I was living in grandma's basement. My car would break down in people's driveways. That was awesome. And then I had 50 grand in student loan debt. Financially, I had nothing. I was not the poster child for what business was and success was. But through middle school, through high school, through college, through all the relationships that I built, I realized I was the richest man alive because for my entire life I had been building social capital, which has in turn become financial capital. Does that make sense? You can start building your wealth now, but if you don't have people, you'll never have money. Does that make sense? I'll work. A lot of people ask me, how did you end up in your career? Anybody remember how I ended in my career? Did I mention that before? There were no jobs. I had double major, double minor, president of student government for 2 years, editor of the newspaper, captain on the track team, member of this committee, member of that, member of this, member of that. My resume, my diploma, my degree said I was successful and that I deserved six-figure income, management position, and all the riches and success in the world, right? So the piece of paper, I need a volunteer, my man right here, the coat. Come on down, come on down. What's your name, brother? Christopher? Christopher. All right. So again, you are the only you that you'll ever need. How many of you are like, hey, I'm gonna do great things. I'm building my resume. Hear it? I'm gonna apply for that job as soon as I get my resume together, right? As soon as I get my diploma, my degree, right, Christopher? You don't need anybody, right? So as soon as you get your degree, then you'll be cool, right? Then you can do stuff. But until then, you can't do anything, right? Who is more powerful? You, the person, or the resume, the degree, the diploma, the paper? Who's stronger? You. Do me a favor, can you rip that piece of paper in here? What? All right, give it up for Christopher. There you go. Giant A. Christopher, you get sticker. There you go, man. There you go. Never wait for your resume to be updated to go and achieve your dreams. Are you with me? Say yes. Yes. Who is more powerful, you or a piece of paper? All right. Do you need anybody? Do you want to have people? Do you want to have social capital and relationships? Yes. All right. All right, man. Time's flying. Time's flying. Boom, boom. Average day. How many of you say, well, I didn't have time? Raise your hand if you ever said, I didn't get my homework done, or I didn't get the job done, I didn't do my chores because I didn't have time. Go. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I've done it plenty of times. Is that the truth or is it an excuse? Excuse, always. Always. In the career world, if I'm late, and I'm like, well, no, I just didn't get a lot of sleep. I was up till 1 in the morning last night working. My son was crying till 3 in the morning, and I was up at 5. But I'm here. If I came to you and said, hey guys, I'm really tired now, I just can't do it today. You'd be like, this guy sucks, right? This guy's full of crap. Bonus college credit thing that it took me 30 years to learn. Don't complain or explain. A lot of people are like, I don't complain. I never complain. Well, let me tell you all about my terrible day. Right? I never complain, but let me explain. It's either you did it or you didn't. You took action, you completed a task, or you didn't. Leave the excuses at home because you're in a great spot. And again, I coach. I've been through high school, I've been through middle school, been through college. School is the best place to be because people actually care about your feelings. It might not seem that way. Teachers, coaches, family, We care about your feelings. We are hoping to make you feel better. Does that make sense? Career world. If you're not feeling good, is your boss going to say, well, hey, let's talk about it. Let's just take the day off. Or your boss going to be like, I thought about it and you're fired. You get a free pass or you get fired? All right. Do you want to be fired? No. All right, cool. It's bad goals. All right. So average day for me usually starts, one of the things a lot of people say, what's your average day? So if you want to do what I do, I'm usually up at 5 a.m. Remember, financial, professional, and personal focus always. For me, I got daddy daycare. I get to hang out. My son's 6 months old, get him ready for work. Yeah, he's got a job already. Get him ready for school, all that fun stuff. That's my cherished personal time. Kiss my wife goodbye. I do this stupid dance to make her hate me more, I guess. But, that's personal time. I make sure that I am investing in my family. Does that make sense? Always invest in your family. Always invest in yourself. So I try to do 30 minutes audiobook while I'm running. And then we got some finances. Check my financial numbers for business, home. If you look, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. On that list, you will not see take lunch, smoke break, talk about my feelings, take some time off, get some quality me time. If you want to be successful, you want to achieve things no one else ever has, you have to be going always. You have to be always viciously seeking opportunities and success aligned with what you know in your gut is true for you. All right. One thing to keep in mind. CEO of a Fortune 500 company is very lucky to have dinner with him. And he was always up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. for work. And I'm like, it's got to be some type of business thing. So they tell me, how do you do it? What he told me was, my family doesn't miss me when they're sleeping. Repeat that. My family doesn't miss me when they're sleeping. All right, so can you customize your dreams and your goals around your family so that way your financial and professional goals don't destroy your personal goals in life? Does that make sense? Can you do it? We all have the same 24 hours. Take a step back, get creative. There's no excuses as to why you can't do what you want to do. How many of you love math? Math? All right, heard of it? All right. I mumble. How many of you hate math? All right. Will you need math in the real world? Everybody's like, yes. Here's the deal. You will need everything in different situations. So I would say, where do you put on your, I have my family hat, and then I go put on my life coaching, business coaching hat, and then I go put on my financial advising hat, and then I go put on my public speaking hat, and then I go back home, I got my dad hat on, got my husband hat. You're always, when you go to class, you got your math hat, bell rings, go to English, put my English hat on. You have to adapt to whatever situation comes your way. I'm gonna wrap this up. Last thing, knowing what you do not want in life is more important than knowing what you do. What you want out of life will change. If you know in your gut you don't want to do something, it's not for you, stay away from it. Does that make sense? I hate paperwork, so it doesn't mean you just don't do it. I've had to create a business to where I'm phasing myself out of having to do any paperwork. Does that make sense? Does it mean that I just don't do it? You don't like to do something doesn't mean you just don't do it. Right? Alright. Last thing, square. There's a poem called Success by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Know thyself. Know who you are. The reason I do what I do every day, the reason I make every single decision is one line in that poem. Is to know one life has breathed easier because you live. This is to have succeeded. So my challenge to you, my fellow leaders, unstoppable forces of awesome, go make someone's life easier because you live. So, thank you.
All right, one more round of applause for Mr. Sliker. Thanks for coming. Thank you, 7th and 8th graders. Woo! Thank you, 7th.